Based on a few things that I've seen on the internet, I feel like this is going to be a very polarizing movie. I feel like this is one of those films that you're either going to really love or you're going to think it's stupid. I think it's stupid. This movie was one of the biggest pump fakes that I've seen in a long time, and we are talking spoilers, so if you have not seen this movie yet, come back later. The 28 Later franchise, if that's what you want to call it, is a franchise that I've honestly never really cared about. I mean, I was born in 1994. The first movie came out in 2002, if my memory is correct. I never saw it when I was a kid. It was a film that I remember seeing commercials for, and I remember seeing that classic poster, but I've never actually watched the film. Same with the second one. I didn't even remember that they even had a second movie. And then I thought I was tripping because I was like, wait, did I miss 28 months later? But no, they just jumped right to 28 years. So with the announcement of 28 years later, I wasn't sure if I needed to see the other movies before I saw this. So I went back and I actually watched them. I watched the first movie like 3 days ago, and it looks really old today. It looks like it was definitely made in like 2001, 2002, but still, I think it was still a really good movie, even with today's standards. And when it comes to the second one, I didn't have a chance to watch that fully. I've only watched maybe 20 or 30 minutes of that, so I still need to go back and finish that one. But based on what I read online, you didn't need to see those movies. I just wanted to have kind of a background on this. So 28 Days Later, I thought was really good. 28 Weeks Later, haven't had the chance to see yet. So when it came to 28 Years Later, I didn't really know what to expect. I love anything with zombies. I'm biased when it comes to zombies. Zombies is probably one of my favorite types of movies and video games to watch. I mean, Dawn of the Dead, Train to Busan. My favorite Netflix show of all time is called Kingdom. If you haven't seen that, definitely go watch that. I mean, Dying Light, the video game, Left 4 Dead. I love zombies. I wasn't really excited for this movie. I avoided all the trailers. I had no idea what this movie would be. I saw the Cillian Murphy zombie that people thought was him on the internet. So coming into this movie, I wasn't really excited, I would say. I was just like, oh, it has zombies or infected. I'm gonna go see this. And it's a more updated version of the movie that I thought was really good from 20 plus years ago. And I ain't really like this. So if you're new to the channel, even if I don't like a movie, I try to highlight the positive things that I did like, because I don't like just trying to shit on people's art. So let's talk about some of the things that I did like. The acting across the board, I thought was really good. I've only seen a few of Aaron Taylor Johnson movies, but he was really good in this. Honestly, he was my favorite part of this movie. Jodie Comer, I'm probably saying that wrong. She plays the mother. I thought she was great in this movie. Alfie Williams, who plays the main character that we follow for majority of the film, named Spike. Again, I thought he was really good. So the acting in this film, I had really no issues with. I thought everybody, for what they had to work with, I thought everybody killed it. The style in which this movie was shot, I thought was also really cool. Like, I feel like that's one of those things that you're gonna either really love or hate. I love the style in which they directed this movie. And like, they had these things that it kind of reminded me of like a kill cam in a video game, when like they were killing the zombies. It's like the screen would kind of, I don't want to say glitch, but it would just like, the angle would just change. If you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And no lie, the first like 30 minutes of this movie had me glued to the screen. I mean, like, for me, I love things that don't have happy endings. I love when things are quote unquote realistic. I love when things are gruesome and brutal. And it's like, I hate to see things happen to children, but the beginning of this movie, when the kids were in the room and then the infected came in busting through the door and then you saw the blood splatter on the TV and stuff like that, it was like, oh, this is the route that we're going. And then with the story of the family, you get Aaron's character. You see that he has a son, he has a wife, and the wife has some sort of illness or mental illness or something like that. We don't really know what's going on with her, but she's sick in some way. And all of this I thought was really interesting. The father is taking his son out into the infected world so he can get his first kill and see what life is like on the other side, outside of the gates that they're on. I thought that was really good. The scenes once they actually got to the mainland was so intense. Felt like I love this feeling. I said the same thing when I watched A Quiet Place. Like, I love like tension in movies. Like, I just love like when it feels like somebody's like holding a knife against your throat when you're watching a film. Like, to me, that I love that feeling. And when the kid had to kill his first infected, and then later they started to get chased by a bunch of other infecteds, and what is this alpha thing? And it's just like the whole 30-40 minutes at the beginning of this movie was incredible. They had this thing going on where it was inserting like clips and moments from like the medieval times or something like that. I don't know if it was like a chant that they were doing or if it was like a song like at the beginning of the film. It just really hit hard. They had these cutaways, like this random like red camera showing zombies eating deers and stuff like that. Like it was just so horror. It was so intense, and I wanted that for the entire movie, and we didn't. This film kind of felt like two movies smashed together. Like the part that I liked, that first 30 minutes of this film, was horror, it was dark, and then the rest of the movie after that, it was kind of just an emotional family drama. I didn't really care for that. Like, it's funny and messed up. When I was watching the beginning of this film, in my mind, I'm already thinking about the review. I'm like, man, I love this, I love this, I love this. This is like a 9. And it's like, as the movie just kept going on, I was like, this is an 8. This is a 7, and it just kept, my score in my brain just kept going down. For me, as soon as they got back to their village and they had the party, everything after that was completely stupid to me, and I completely checked out. I'm not gonna say that the story is stupid, because the story is from the perspective of a 12-year-old, if my memory is correct. When you're 12, you do certain things. Like, we saw the story of this emotional child who saw that his mother was sick and he wanted to help his mother out. And as a person who loves his mom, it's like, I feel you. As a child, you want to do whatever you can to make sure your parents are good. But it's like the way that they executed it and the way that we got from point A to point B, I just didn't care about. At the beginning of the movie, we got that father and son dynamic where the father is trying to make his son toughen up and man up, and they just naturally butt heads. It's like, I loved that. I wanted more of that throughout the movie. I had no idea what this movie was going to be about. I thought the majority of this film was going to be the father and the son like stuck on the mainland or whatever. That's what I was thinking going along with the movie. I thought that's what it was going to be. Not that at all. The dad character literally just disappears for like the majority of the rest of the movie. And like, I'm not saying that the movie needed to just be the father and the son. It could have been the mother, son, and father, but I thought it was such a odd decision the way that they went. Nobody knows if this doctor character is actually a doctor. Nobody knows if this doctor character is mentally stable. And this 12-year-old is like, yeah, you know, I can barely shoot the infected when I was out there with my dad. If my dad wasn't there, I would have died because I was scared and I couldn't hit anything. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my mom, who's mentally ill, who's in pain, who can barely walk at times. I'm gonna take my mom out into all these infecteds. I'm gonna take her to a doctor that I don't even know if he's a doctor. I don't even know if he's mentally stable. And that's what we're gonna do. I think that is a good idea. It's stupid. It's like they kept wanting to add a bunch of things to this film. Like, once they introduced the soldiers in this movie, I was like, okay, we about to lock in. You know, they gave us a little emotional building, but we're gonna lock back in for the rest of this film. No, they introduced this random character for what? They introduced these soldiers for what? The character is literally there just to die later for some reason. I thought the alphas, like, at first they seemed really cool, but all they were was just these giants with huge penises. And they didn't really do anything. Like, there was the giant that kept coming back, or the alpha that kept coming back, didn't really do anything. And then they did one of the dumbest things. Well, I don't say that because people feel differently. I hated it. The non-infected baby was so stupid to me. I chuckled to myself. This other dude in my theater bust out laughing when the woman was helping an infected have a kid, and then the kid came out and it was perfectly fine. And as stupid as I thought the baby was, I was like, well, maybe it's a deeper thing. Maybe they're gonna tie it in somehow, because the alpha started to find them and really started to come after them after that point. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, the alpha for some reason is attached to this baby. That's the reason the alpha is going after this baby. This is the reason it's going after them so hard. It wants to get the baby. As of right now, nothing. And then when we get to the weird doctor, the entire reason that the kid went on this journey is to take his mom to go see a doctor so she can feel better. This man takes her to the doctor and he kills her. I was like, because he said she was dying, and he was like, well, how long does she got? And he said soon. I ain't think soon meant in the next 5 minutes I'm gonna just take your mom out back and kill her. The ending of this movie, where the kid goes all the way back to his village, drops the baby off, leaves a note to his father, and then goes off on his own journey. The moment at the end pissed me off, and I feel like everybody in my theater at this point in the movie was just like, what is going on? So the kid he runs into a dead end. It's a bunch of zombies coming on. He meets these random people that looks dressed in like Adidas tracksuits, looking like Power Rangers, and they're like, oh, can we join in? And he was like, yeah, help me. I thought they was gonna pull out guns. I thought they was gonna pull out arrows. Bro, they start doing flips and like whipping out like staffs and beating the effect. Bro. But it just seemed like they just went a completely different direction. Like the ending was so stupid to me. And then they tried to tie it back to the beginning because the character, we saw the necklace, and it was the necklace that the priest or the kid's father at the very beginning of the movie gave his son. This was stupid. As of this recording, 28 years later, it's projected to make around 30 million in its opening weekend. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a critic score of 90% and a fan rating of 66%. I'm going even lower than the fans. I'm gonna give this movie a 5, which is an average on my scale. I wanted more horror. I wanted more moments of suspense. I wanted more tension. If you just expanded off the first 30 minutes of this movie, like I said, in my mind, when I was watching that beginning, I was like, this is like a 9 type of movie right here. Like the beginning portion of the film, I'll give that a 9. To me, like, just stop it after they get back from that party. That's like a 9. And then you had the drama with the dad and the son, and the dad cheating on his mom. Like, all that stuff was really interesting to me. That part I liked. The rest of the movie, this emotional family drama of a movie, I don't care. What was the point of the alphas? And again, they're trying to expand this for later movies, but I needed more for this one. If this is the movie that's going to set everything up, you need to at least make it interesting. What was the point of the alphas? Who the hell was at the end of this movie? I did not enjoy this. I don't want to say I had expectations, but just what I had in my mind wasn't at all what I thought this movie was going to be. I thought it was going to be like the first movie, just dark and like gruesome throughout the entire film. Not this. Like, I didn't really care about the doctor. Once the son and mom went on their own adventure, I didn't really care. Like, that whole portion of the film, like the last like hour and a half, hour, 20 minutes of this film, I thought was just stupid and pointless. And I kept looking at my watch because I was ready to go. Like I said, people in my theater were laughing, bro, at points that I don't think was supposed to be funny. Like when the Power Rangers came out at the end and they started doing flips and all that stuff, my entire theater buzzed out laughing. Maybe that's what they were going for, but I don't think so. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are your thoughts on this movie? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Like, for me, again, maybe this is why I don't have expectations, because I always end up disappointed. This was just not at all what I thought it was going to be, but maybe I'm tripping. Like I said, critics love this movie apparently, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.